Might be an away game for you. A lot of tickets sold by Virginia Tech. Does that matter to you?
Oh, well, it's obvious. We hadn't had a home game all year long. We didn't play in our stadium because we're renovating. We're putting up close to $100 million, so we played down at Paul Brown, the Bengals Stadium. And so I'm proud of these kids. We had a lousy opening schedule. It was open the first 2 weeks, and then we ended up playing two pretty good teams, Miami, Florida, and Ohio State. And we got behind the eight ball, and then our guys reeled off 7 straight. And as I tell everybody, win part of the conference championship, not having a home game, that's pretty good. So we'll feel right at home here. But I know Frank's and his group's pretty close to here. But we'll have a fair amount that'll come. But it is a pretty good ways for our folks to drive, and we usually travel pretty good. So this is a reward for the players here, and we're going to make sure they have a good time, and hopefully we show up and play a good football game.
Now, the Military Bowl is known, it's young, it's getting known, but is it nice to bring your guys to the nation's capital in this venue? They can, it's a great sightseeing spot.
Yeah, it's most of them might not ever come back, and so we want them to experience, everything here. I came from a military family. My dad fought in World War II, and I'm going to get to go see his name on the World War II Memorial. I haven't seen it, so that'll be a deal for me, and look forward to doing that and going to the Capitol and letting our guys kind of look at a little bit of history that they've seen on television all their life, and hopefully they'll get something from it. And then, of course, we push them pretty hard in practice. We keep them busy, but we want it to be a reward. I've coached in close to 30 bowl games, and the main thing is you want to make sure they have a good time, and especially the seniors. This is the last time most of them will ever put on a football helmet or a pair of shoulder pads, and they've been playing since they're 5 years old. So it's important that we send them off in the right way, have a fun week, and everybody kind of be a close-knit family, because after the game Saturday, this football team will be no more because we'll lose about 20 seniors. They'll be gone, and we'll start over again in January.
I don't want to monopolize this thing, but if no one...
You're doing good. You're on a roll, man.
Okay, well, what does it mean to this program to play a team like Virginia Tech? Granted, they're 6-6, but it's a renowned program with a very, very renowned coach.
Oh, yeah. Frank and our good friends. We've been in this business together for a long time, and he's done an outstanding job. He took a program that was down and out back in the mid-'80s, and very seldom do you see somebody make it this long at one place, but it's his home, and he's put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it, and he's done a great job. I played him 10 years ago in the Sugar Bowl when I was at Auburn, and that was our undefeated season, and we happened to win the game. But they're well coached. They play hard. They're very physical. I know what to expect. I'm trying to get it over to our players. But, 3 years ago we played Duke. Last year we played North Carolina, and this year we're playing Virginia Tech, 3 ACC teams in a row. So we know it's going to be a tough contest for us, but we've got a little momentum. We've played hard. We've gotten better. We've gotten a few guys over injuries and back, and so what I try to do is make sure we got a good game plan, get them to the ballpark fresh and energized, and let's play for 60 minutes and see who the best team is.
Do you show them film of Virginia Tech beating Ohio State? I mean, if you have to convince them.
Unfortunately, we played them the next week, and so we saw it many times before we played Ohio State, and we got took to the woodshed by Ohio State. We scored some points, but we couldn't slow them down. And they've got a very good football team. But I tell you, there's not a better defense or a defensive staff that knows what they're doing than Virginia Tech. And again, I've coached against Virginia Tech many times in the last 25 years since Frank's been there, and they live and die off defense and a great running game, and this year they got one of my old players who I recruited at Texas Tech at quarterback, Michael Brewer. I recruited him when I was there, and then Mike transferred last year to Frank, and he's given them a different mentality in throwing the football, and so it's just be a good homecoming for Frank and I. We go way back, but we're not playing. It'll be two teams that are very unfamiliar with each other. A little bit of crossover in terms of who we played, and funny things happen in bowl games.
What kind of game do you expect with their great defense and your exceptional offense?
Well, that's exactly right. If you just look at the stats, it's clearly our strength versus their strength, our offense versus their defense. And then our defense has been, pretty maligned all year long until the last 4 or 5 games. We got much better, and that's what I'm proud of, that we improved. We didn't slack up. We got better. So it's football's funny. It's a true team sport. You've got to have 60 or 70 guys that do their role. 1 or 2 guys are not going to win football games for you. You've got to have a lot of guys doing their thing and throughout a year and trying to improve. And if one thing that I can look at our football team that I can truthfully say is we've gotten much better as the year gone on. It's obvious when you win 7 games in a row, you're doing something right. So that being said, just watching their film and how they played after Ohio State, which is a huge win for their program, they had some ups and downs, but they had injuries. They lost a lot of running backs, and I'm sure they've got some guys back. But again, it'll be an old-fashioned barn burner contest, hard, physical, hard fought, and looking forward to seeing Frank. And a lot of guys on his staff are friends of mine, and again, that's what's good about our profession. It looks big, but it's really a small group of us that we all know each other over the years. So we're having a reception tonight and looking forward to seeing all of them.
This will be my last question. What would it mean to you, given that you haven't had a home game, you started out 0-2, to finish 10-3, a double-digit win season, beating Virginia Tech basically on the road?
I answered that question last year. We were playing North Carolina, and I thought we were ready to play. You never know what about a bowl game. You get into a game, and it should have been a close game, and we didn't play very well. And North Carolina played very well, and we got beat about 3 touchdowns. So, I want our guys to just be ready to play, understand what they're getting into, understand that, this is for a trophy. This is for the Military Bowl, one of the youngest and one of the most upcoming bowls in college football, and we want to be a part of it, and we'd rather be a part on the winning side of the trophy than the losing side. So we got a lot of work to do between now and Saturday, and looking forward to having some fun in between, but also getting ready to go.
It is the Military Bowl. You spoke, I guess, at the initial press conference about the game. Talk about your dad's service a little bit, maybe some guys you went to high school with in Arkansas that went over and didn't come back. And I know you visited troops and stuff and some tours and things like that. If you could just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, President Bush sent a group of coaches over twice over the Middle East to see troops, and went to Baghdad and Balad and Afghanistan and Africa and that's during the heat of the war. And it was fun to go over there and see those kids, because you can relate, because they're the same age as the guys that in this room right here that I'm coaching. And I wish I could take these guys over and see what these young people, men and women, are doing for our country and the things and struggles that they go through. My dad was in World War II, Purple Heart, 5 Bronze Stars, landed in Normandy, drive a tank through the city streets of Paris when they liberated Paris. And he didn't talk about it much, but he died on active duty at age 53, and he was a true American. And so I started a foundation. We're going to build a home, one a year for a wounded warrior in the Cincinnati area, and that are handicapped, that lost legs or whatever. So it's kind of fitting that we're here this year. And again, I want our players. We have problems all over the world. I want them to see what this city's like, in terms of the history and the things that our military does for us, and we'll have military people here with us this week, and should be a fun time for everybody involved, not just our players, but also families also that are included.
Back to a football question. Can you just talk about Keel and what you saw from him this year? I mean, you throw him out there the first time, he threw 6 touchdown passes, and he kind of hasn't slacked up too much since, other than the injuries. Yeah,
I think he's thrown 30 touchdown passes, and the kid hadn't played in 3 years. We call him a ghost. A guy that was a myth, because he came out as one of the top players in the country a few years ago, and then signs Notre Dame, transfers, sits out with us a year, and we didn't know what to expect. And he came out of the chute and played hard. But like any quarterback, you've got to overcome injuries, because you're going to get knocked around some, and then you got to get back up and go back to the table and see how much more you can take. But he's done a good job. He's not near as good as he'll be this time next year. He's gotten better every game. We've got some good receivers that can catch the ball that have helped him. We just got to give him time, and the games that we played, we've been able to give him time to set his feet and get the ball off and have some consistency.
What does this bowl mean to you? Military Bowl in the nation's capital. There are many venues, but seems like it's a good one for Cincinnati.
Yeah, it means a lot, not to me, but just the team also. Everyone was talking about they can't wait to, see the White House and, everything tomorrow. And not just that, the bowl is treating us right, and they're welcoming us. We're loving the bowl already, and it's been the best so far, and everyone's liking it.
Last year's experience in the bowl game, not very good for Tech. For Cincinnati, rather. Does that have any bearing on this game as well?
Oh yeah, we other guys are telling the younger guys, that we need that good look because, we still remember that awful game that we had last year, and we still got a chip on our shoulders. And everyone that is talking to us is bringing it up, and it's making the chip even bigger. And we want to change. We want to change that, so that way the story just goes away, like it never happened before. And not just the players are bringing it up, but the coaches are bringing it up too, and they're preaching this to us at practice, and just to motivate us and keep us going.
It means something to beat an ACC team and a team like Virginia Tech with a lot of history.
They have a lot of history. Actually, one of my best friends went to Virginia Tech, and he had left Virginia Tech, and he was a D tackle, Chris Harley, and it means a lot because actually I know some of the coaches over there, and Coach Tubb knows players, the quarterback over there, and it actually means a lot to us, just to get this win and to prepare us at a better situation so we can win the game.
You know that there are going to be a lot of Virginia Tech fans there, not as many Cincinnati fans, I would assume. Does that matter? Or is that a good thing because you can shut up the crowd?
Exactly. You can shut up the crowd if you win. And it really doesn't matter to us. We've been good on the road this year, and we're going to continue to get better on the road. And we're looking for 10 wins, and that's our main goal right now is to get 10. And the older guys, the seniors are preaching it to everyone else. We got to get 10, so that way it'll be an 8-game winning streak, and they can keep it going next year.
Final question for me: have you seen from Virginia Tech on film that I'm not going to say concerns you, but what makes them good?
The wide receivers and the quarterback and the running back is really standing out to me. The running back can do it all. He's like a Duke Johnson. He can stick his foot in the ground and, take it to the house with his feet. And the quarterback, he's a savvy player. He's smart. And just looking at them, they have a lot of things going on over there on the offense because not only they stick to one game plan, they kind of switch it up sometimes. And it's kind of hard to, get ready for them because you never know on these bowl games. You never know what they're going to pull out. So it's up in the air, but our defense is ready, and we're gonna play defense.
Let me ask you one more thing then. Yeah. Mixing fun and work, can you make it? What's the percentage here? And can you enjoy this trip as well as get ready for a football game?
Yeah, the bowl games, are meant for a gift for teams that win over 6. But also you got to remember that you're coming here for business and trying to win the game. And guys in there know what we got to do, to win 10. And that's what Coach Tubb has been preaching to us. You can have fun, but you remember that it's a business trip. And, when it's practice time, it's time to practice. It's time to lock in and practice. And that's what he's been preaching to us all this time.
Thank you.
No problem.
Good luck.
Thank you.